paying homage to our Rob Drydick, I noticed that, he's always wearing D and G.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it? Dolce
and Gabbana.
Dolce and Gabbana. So, to start that off, Dolce and Gabbana, in our self-righteous, sanctimonious way, as self-righteous and sanctimonious as we can get, I've always kind of felt like we've been prophets. We haven't profited, as most prophets don't.
No. Other people have been profiting.
They've been profiting.
They've been pocketing your money left and right.
But mainly, probably the people that are watching what we produce are the ones that are pocketing your money, not the ones that should be listening to the prophet. But a prophet is reviled in his own hometown, right?
Apparently.
Do you feel like you've been a prophet to see things in the future that are going bad?
I think I've had some pretty good predictions on future stupidity long before it happened. My favorite one would be our famous fountains. Well, the big pictures.
Well, mine still reside up there. I haven't really added to the Oracle of Dayton too much since everything that I was prophesying pretty much came true.
Such as?
Well, the housing bust. I would say that the oil thing. I would say that
those are big things. That's not the local stuff. The local stuff.
But they impact local things.
Oh yeah,
which is the reason why I have always wanted to put. We lost the light. Put the casino.
Now that might be a problem, Greg. I think we better put it on pause and get involved.
Okay. And the Lord knocked out our light on the prophets. Isn't that the way it goes? D and G, Dolce and Gabbana. So we feel like we picked out a few things. I mean, I evaluate a lot of people's characters, and I feel like a lot of these things are becoming vindication, don't you? I mean, I know you're male, checking the mail, M-A-I-L or M-A-L-E, harasser.
Stalker.
He wasn't arrested. He was not arrested, so we can't say that.
He was taken in and questioned, and he admitted his guilt after all these years of harassing not just me, but other people who are of much more prominence in this community.
What do you mean? You consider yourselves of low prominence somehow?
Well, I don't have the bank account that these guys
have. Bank account, I'm sure.
Yeah. They all have multiple commas in their net worth.
Multiple commas. Well, that makes up for a lot of other shortcomings, as we're all aware.
Well, it also gets you actual action by the police and the FBI.
But it also may, preclude you from not charging that person because you don't want to drag X particular person through the mud.
Who knows?
Or drag out what they said about you or any other thing. Why have salacious things printed if you don't really want them?
Yeah.
Except for us, the prophets of doom.
The stack of paper like this that I had from this idiot, and the idiot used to own General Surplus. His name is Sidney Schultz. Really made things difficult around here for me. There were a lot of people that thought that I was some sort of crazed person sending out these very bizarre, semi-threatening letters. And
you already had enough doing with your own thing without, you don't need any help.
I don't need any help doing that stuff. So
yeah, it does make you mad when people help you out on that kind of stuff.
On that kind of stuff, yeah. I mean, I already have the Dayton Daily News that does everything they can possibly to...
Hey, you know what? Let me just tell you. Yeah. They do read the comments. Maybe somebody reported abuse.
Somebody reported abuse.
As I did, post a comment on the Madison's Bistro shutdown, which... I have been studying the Argues for quite some time, and their businesses.
Are you sure you're not a stalker?
Well, no, you just study them. I went to just like some of the commenters said, their food is good. The portions are small, and they are somewhat, sanctimonious. I used another...
Yeah.
I used the term sanctimonious pigs. That might have gotten it taken off there. But...
might have.
But when you evaluate these... you could judge their character long before their authorities finally get them.
They weren't taking tax dollars in any huge way. They were just selling liquor without a license.
Well, no, they took the employees' tax dollars because those employees are now liable for those tax payments not made by the Argues.
But they're not the first company to do that. I mean, we had the Mazer Corporation that did that. We've had quite a few companies get away with it. But times are tough and everything else. That's not quite the same as going out and basically lying to government and getting handed big checks.
Oh, you might, Cubase?
Like Cubase, like how about VGH Studios downtown, who does all the work for the Downtown Dayton Partnership, who promised double employment once they got $125,000 for video equipment.
Is that the same people that are bringing the water thing too?
No, that's another company.
Dayton Ding Dong Coalition?
No. Downtown Dayton Partnership uses BGH Studios, who produces stuff for Urban Nights and a few other things. But
I love Urban Nights. See, it's the good with the bad. It's a hard thing to throw everything.
Well,
just like the argument.
What about the Port Authority? I mean, this has been
any Port Authority?
The Port Authority has been a crock from day one. It's been used to funnel money to questionable business operations and its use of tax dollars.
Much like the welfare. TDIC, Transportation Improvement District.
There's
a lot of similarities there in that corporate chicanery.
That would be Austin Road.
Oh well, yes, but construction jobs,
Yes.
we gotta save those because they're not reoccurring. Well, that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I've not quite figured out why this was sold as a good idea. Was rebuilding infrastructure was going to stimulate the economy?
Because Obama is truly an idiot.
Yeah, well,
we hold these truths to be self-evident.
Okay,
either that or he's out of touch. What happened?
He lost in Massachusetts.
Who didn't lose?
Well, I think that was a definite vote of non-confidence.
You can't really like Obamacare. He's going to start taxing you without providing you benefits long before.
I don't like it because it wasn't health care. It was health insurance reform, and that's screw the reform. Get rid of the insurance jokers, and we're in great shape.
Well, those that talk about it and that still have Medicare, they use them. They're total hypocrisy.
Let's get back on subject here. Profits. I made a mistake when I said baseball was a bad investment. I still don't think the taxpayers need to foot the bill. But baseball has been good for Dayton.
I agree. For the white people of Dayton.
For the people who can afford to go and for...
It's a great social infrastructure. I'm glad they're down there.
Yeah.
I go ride by...
I still think the location was bad. I think they could have done a lot better. I think Mandalay Entertainment got a sweetheart deal. But, baseball has been good.
We'll see how long it lasts, and I think
it's going to go for a few more years still, until they decide that they need a newer, bigger, better stadium and want us to foot the bill.
Well, it's a nice little thing. I think it builds somewhat of community, which, if you look at bowling alone, we need community. And, the car culture.
Bowling Alone being a movie about...
No, it's a book.
About the breakdown of society because we no longer have any need to leave our television sets.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
But I feel like we do talk about things that don't come to the fore.
What are we? We're on their television set. So
we talk
We're helping screw things up by...
We kind of talk about community and things that are positive. Also things that are negative. You got to understand where things come from.
Oh, yeah.
But things get sold down pretty... baseball, whatever. I don't like baseball, so whatever. I don't,
so you think we should build a hockey rink?
Well, I don't think we should build really... Yeah. I would work on other things.
Well, the difference between building a hockey rink and building a baseball field is the hockey rink would still get used by public.
Horse racing downtown, which supports agriculture. All these ripple effects.
Agriculture.
So, yes. Well, we gave the Haitians a lot of food. They can't make it themselves. The Russians did the same thing with chickens. They didn't like importation of bush legs, as they call them. They are making up chlorine. I didn't know we soaked our chicken in chlorine to disinfect it.
Do we?
Yes, we do.
I was wondering what that taste was. There is a difference between when you get a fresh chicken, from the farm. And
that's why I always buy my chickens from the farmer's market. You know, squawking around one day and right to my door the next day. That's what we want. I like to do that
Pop
myself.
tops.
I might be start eating cat around here in the old South Park neighborhood. That's the best thing to do. There's no squirrels down here in South Park. There's only cats.
A lot of feral cats. Anyways, I think we've meandered quite a bit here, and
so D&G,
the D&G show.
D&G.
Well, it's also for the Dayton Grassroots.
That's right. It's
Dayton and Grassroots.
Maybe Drydeck can show up and give us a spot down there on his.
I doubt that, but we are going to have some new guests coming here.
I'm going to be off.
No, we're going to switch it up a bit here and there, and try to add to our repartee.
Exactly. Goodbye.